Hello, Sangha. So a number of people have been asking me for some comments about this notion of struggle, as Chogyam Trungpa is putting it out in his book, Cutting Through Spiritual Materialism. So um, let's chat about that a little bit. Um, a lot of teachers will use the word, where is the edge of your practice? Okay, and for me, when I hear that, it kind of speaks to the same issue of where's the struggle? Where is your struggle right now? Many people live basically in a state of coming into, in the midst of, or just getting out of deep struggle. And it can become a kind of real neurotic obsession that is really it's a deep entrapment. Sorry, it's a deep entrapment where our whole sort of experience of life is basically wrapped around struggle and is wrapped around pain, basically. So the question here is, what do we do with this? Um, what the hell, right? Well, if you think about your sitting practice, your Zazen practice, okay, when you're sitting there, it's likely that sensations of discomfort or unpleasant mental states or emotional states, feeling states of different kinds will arise. Of course they will. That's not itself a problem. And that's not the struggle, I would say, that Chogyam Trungpa here is pointing to. Okay, the fact that these things arise in the mind stream is neutral. It's no different than the sound of that phone that just dinged at me, or the sound of cars going outside or something. You've heard me say it a billion times, right? But there's a different thing when we get completely suckered into the narrative, when we literally just become hooked by the struggle. Now, what Chogyam Trungpa says is that struggle itself is the ego. Okay, so for him, at least in that moment when he was teaching those people, what he was inspired to say was that struggle itself is the evidence, is the fact of the ego. The ego, the separate self, the limited self, is the struggle. So what he goes with this, though, is what's most important for me, is he says, therefore, and the therefore is very important, therefore turn towards what is actually and factually so in your own direct experience right here, right now. Directly turn to the immediate experience of this moment. Okay? So the whole setup there is basically designed to get us to turn back to the moment and to really question it with an open, curious heart, mind, body, soul, etc. Okay? So the takeaway, one of the takeaways, is that if you're sitting in your zazen and you notice that you're pulled into struggle and drama, fear or agitation or whatever, even elation and giggliness and all, that end of the spectrum too. See it, notice it, let it be, return to the practice. We've all heard it. Sometimes you can't actually just let it be. Sometimes it keeps reasserting itself very intensely. At such a time, you can just turn and face it directly. And face it with a deep inquiry. What is this? What is this sensation of loneliness, let's say, that's suddenly overcome me? What exactly is this? And lean into it with an open, curious mind. And we're not trying to annihilate this thing or make it an enemy or anything. We're trying to investigate the quality of it. Where does it come from? How does it come to be? What is this? What is this? What is this? And don't assume that you know. Very important. Not knowing is most intimate, as we've heard, right? So lean into the thing, lean into the experience. And then there's some kind of an invitation here that when we can learn this basic skill of leaning into and questioning rather than getting swept away by, something can shift. That's very important. So for me, when I'm reading these words about struggle is the ego and drop the struggle, it all moves right towards this moment. Therefore, turn into the moment, become the moment, investigate deeply the quality and texture and energy and reality of this present moment exactly as it is. So hopefully that's a little bit of a guidance for you in working with this concept. We don't need to notice the fact that we have some unpleasant circumstances or sensations in our lives and then say, oh, that must be me struggling, and oh, there's me again, and there's struggle again, bad me, terrible me, I should drop me, and it becomes a whole other crazy scenario that self-loops, right? So yeah, right. So let that be and just turn right back into the texture of the moment, whatever that texture is. Even if it happens to be snow again. There we go. Turn into the texture of the cold. Turn towards it and feel it. Okay? There's a way in which actually that bubble of struggle just goes and becomes something different, even though it doesn't really change. And that's for you to find, and for me to find, and for us all to remember when we forget. So, other announcements. We have a Zazen Kai on Saturday. That's tomorrow from 9 till 5. Doan will be in the lead in the morning. I'll be in the lead in the afternoon. Sunday, in addition to the normal class and cleaning and everything that's happening, we'll have an orientation to the temple from 2 to 4. That's for people that are new or new-ish to the temple and want to hang out with me and have some conversations about what we do and what happens. Love to see you there. If you've got people in your life that are kind of interested in what you do, this is a nice, safe place for them to come in and have some orienting comments about what it is with handouts and stuff. While that's happening, your leadership council will be hard at work planning for the mountain seat ceremony, as well as tackling matters of policy and bylaws and a student handbook that's forthcoming. Those folks are doing an immense amount of work. We should all be grateful for what they're doing. I certainly am. Also, Saturday night there's going to be a kirtan, which is a fun musical experience. It starts at 6:30. It has to do with some Hindu chanting kinds of things, and they sing back and forth, and it's a lovely experience. Many people in the community enjoy it. Come check it out if you never have. It's a nice experience. April 7th, I'm doing a lecture at the University on mindfulness and creativity in the Zen Arts Ensemble at 7 p.m. in the recital hall. April 9th is the Zen Arts Ensemble concert. Recently signed to Summit Records. Their first concert will be released this summer. This will be the second concert. I'd love to see you there. And then April 19th is the Mountain Seat Ceremony. The Blade came out and did an interview with me today about that. We'll see what happens there. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your practice, and we'll see you soon.